Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Smackdown review. So we've got the greatest Royal Rumble happening in 2 days. Everybody's completely forgotten about WrestleMania already. What a forgettable WrestleMania now that they think of it. I mean, it's like a distant memory already. It felt like it happened several months ago, and what did it happen like a few weeks ago? I mean, honestly, like I kind of even forgotten half the card already. I don't even remember what happened. I remember there was some kid called Nicholas, and a bunch of people complaining about a main event. Anyway, we started off with Miz TV. The Miz is ready to turn over a new leaf, and I gotta do a little rant here on the Miz haters for a moment. So there's a lot of people who don't like the Miz and everything. People I'm friends with on Facebook and stuff. I mean, I get it. We all have our own opinions here in the YWC and the IWC. Many of them are bad opinions. Obviously, Finn Balor is a better wrestler than Jinder Mahal. A better entertainer than Jinder Mahal. A better superstar than Jinder Mahal. This is what I'm hearing over on my top 10 worst WWE superstars list, and I'm supposed to take these people seriously. Honestly, you're looking at a tiny jobber compared to a guy that's built like a Greek god. I mean, anyway, so people hate on the Miz all the time. I don't really understand when he's one of the best promos in the game. I mean, you've got Wade Keller talking about how Samoa Joe is a promo god. I mean, the Miz is, really at the top of his game. Like, they were playing a little small promo for the Miz promoting his IC title match. And I have to say, like, I was listening to the promo, and just the way how he strung the words together, scripted or not, this guy is like, he's on fire every single time he does a promo. I don't really get the reason why people are so down on him all the time. Like, he honestly cuts some of the best promos I've heard in recent memory. I mean, he's always top energy, excellent with facial expressions. He's on all the time. I've never seen a lazy by-the-numbers promo from The Miz. Sometimes I might not be putting over his promo all the time because I'm so bored out of my mind by the entire show that a Miz promo isn't exactly going to save the thing. But if I ever had to really narrow down, the past year, Raw moments that didn't quite suck as much as others, I'd probably say a lot of stuff involving The Miz. I'm happy he's away from The Miz to watch because I wasn't liking that whole thing, that whole shtick. But I don't get all the hate towards The Miz. This is one talented guy that, okay, he might not be the very best in the ring, but he's certainly not bad. He's one of the more competent ones, and he doesn't have to do suicide dives every 2 seconds to try to get over with the crowd, and that's not even working for most of these other guys. Just saying, I don't get all the hate. I don't really see why everybody's so down on this guy all the time. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, him and Big Cass came out, cut a promo on Daniel Bryan. We were supposed to get Daniel Bryan. Instead, we got Big Cass. And Cass cut a really good promo here. I mean, this was an excellent promo. This was more than I could hope for him coming back. Like I said, you've got one of the bigger guys on the roster. This is a guy who honestly could be something. You got 7 feet tall. The guy's obviously in great shape. It seems like his time away, it's really benefited him. He seems focused. He came back, putting him in a program with Daniel Bryan, someone who is genuinely over. You see, guys, Bryan is over. Nobody seems to really get this. They feel that, Daniel Bryan got over and he's a small guy, so all these other tiny guys outpouring from NXT, and they think they're gonna get the same reception. You know, the thing is, I'm tired of explaining myself already about why Bryan is better than the rest of the roster. I mean, you take a look at these guys, and you see that they're just not any good in comparison. Bryan works a crowd. He's got a fire. He's got an energy. I'm sorry, Finn Balor smiling is not equivocal to Daniel Bryan's natural charisma and likability. There's nothing about Finn Balor that's likable. I mean, name one thing. Besides, he's a great wrestler. Yeah, he doesn't sell worth a damn. I don't understand how that's classified as great wrestling. He's not a great wrestler by any standard. I think the guy really, I don't think he's that great. I think he's very overrated, even with his in-ring work. I like Cass's promo here. He said that Bryan reminds him of himself when he used to be small. So he says he has a problem with Bryan because of that. And I thought this was a good fiery promo by Cass. Where he just basically talked about why he hates Bryan, basically because he's tiny and it brought back bad memories. It's good promo. I really have to say, showed a lot of passion and energy, and that's all I'm really asking for all the time, is that these guys at least show a little bit of fucking effort. Even if the script might not be great, I mean, at least show that you're interested, that you want to be there at least. And nobody does that anymore. Backstage, they cut to backstage, and Bryan is laying on the floor. Obviously, Cass had already pummeled him before he came out there. The Iconics who made my list, I mean, these girls, they cut another promo, and they cut this horrible joke where they says, she's the Empress of yesterday. God, I mean, guys, really? I mean, is this really what we're going for here? I mean, why are they giving these girls the mic? I really need to ask this question. Why are these girls allowed to hold the microphone when they obviously sound so amateurish and green? I'm not understanding this. I'm really not. Can somebody really help me out here and tell me why I am forced to listen to this? This is awful. This is horrible. I mean, I can't even believe that I'm forced here to sit here to listen to these amateurs on the mic. This is supposed to be professional wrestling. They're supposed to be pros, and they sound like it was their first day on the job. I would watch how many times these people like Dusty Rhodes would train with these people. They would cut promos. I remember watching John Cena working on his promos. I forget who it was that trained him, but they would stand there, all these guys, and show them how to cut promos. But you guys have seen these documentaries. They'd stand there doing take 1, 2, 3, 4. They would do 20 takes on these promos, and they're giving these girls a live mic. I mean, holy fucking shit. I mean, I don't understand that. How are people? This is the thing I don't get about these crowds. To me, it seems like SmackDown has a less markish crowd. I don't know what it is. The excuse used to be that it was a taped show, but now it's a live show. So I don't really see that so much. For some reason, the Raw crowd is filled with marks, but for some reason for SmackDown there's a very calm, boring feel to it. I'm not saying that the annoying "this is awesome" chants and all that garbage is exciting, but SmackDown feels a lot more subdued. But I mean, you're gonna chant during a Roman promo about how much he sucks, but this Peyton Royce, in the, what's the name of the other girl? They're just they're horrible. And I mean, like, if people give them a free pass because they're from NXT, they're from NXT. Let's give them a free pass. You know, it's really funny because Enzo was from NXT and you guys didn't give him a free pass. Nah, you dragged him through the mud. You had people hoping that he was guilty. I mean, what a bunch of hypocrites. Do you guys even realize here in the YWC the amount of hypocritical bullshit that we have to hear on a daily basis? I mean, you just literally see garbage flying out of these people's mouths half the time. So they beat Asuka and Becky Lynch. I don't know how these girls are like going over in a match. Like, honestly, I can't believe you got Asuka and Becky Lynch, like these two people that look like. I'm not saying the Iconics don't look like stars. I mean, there's some pretty girls here, but I mean, man, you get them on the mic, and this is just, it's cringe-worthy to the max. Okay, so anyway, Cien Almas is coming to SmackDown. I like the charisma here. He gives off an Alberto Del Rio feel. I guess if Del Rio has too many problems, they're not going to rehire this guy. But hey, just bring another guy into the role, I suppose. It's pretty similar. I mean, it really is. Same gimmick. Jimmy Uso defeated Eric Rowan. I'm not a big fan of this. This was a bit goofy, to say the fucking least. So Niomi comes out, starts dancing. Rowan is like distracted. He gets hit from behind. He gets schoolboyed, and I'm just like, can they at least give these guys a few months where they could be over as a team that's unbeatable? Can they at least sell that idea? Why must they ruin everyone's gimmick, everyone's momentum? I mean, my God, like these guys beat two teams. They're supposed to be dominating everybody. Naomi's begging, Rowan not to finish off Jimmy Uso, and now he's beating him with basically with ease, with a fucking schoolboy. The schoolboy is holding down this guy that's like 350 pounds. Charlotte and Carmella had a segment. Carmella was on. For some reason, Charlotte was a mute during this segment. She just flipped over the desk. But, here I go putting people over. To people that say that I'm only negative in my reviews. Carmella, once again, spectacular. I mean, isn't it funny? All these people, the ones from NXT, they don't get the credit. I see a few people out there that were giving credit to Big Cass, but look at this. Enzo, Big Cass, Carmella, they were all a team in NXT, and they are arguably the best promos, that you could possibly get. So Enzo's not there anymore, but Carmella and Cass are. And they're tearing down the house with these promos. Carmella is just completely on as champion. I'm not ready to see her part with the title yet. I say keep her on her. She does a good job of getting heat on herself. I mean, she's a heat magnet. This is how it's done, guys. I mean, I don't understand why it can't be like this for every character on the show. And if you're not capable of getting heat like Carmella, I understand that, Brett, there's people are individuals. They're all different. I get that. But if you don't understand as a heel how to get heat, and, you don't understand, what it means to cut a promo and show a bit of energy, enthusiasm, you don't deserve to be on the roster. Tell this to Finn Balor. Tell this to Seth Rollins. Tell this to Samoa Joe, for God's sake, who I'm going to get to in a second. So Charlotte flips the desk on her. I don't know why Charlotte didn't say anything. This is the same thing like with Roman Reigns on Raw. I understand, they want to make they're making a point right away, but, stick around for a while. You're trying to tell a story here. Can you at least make a little bit of effort here? Try to do at least a little something here to make it exciting, to give us a reason to fucking watch. And right away. I mean, they just climax it right there. Flip over the desk, and that's it. A weird segment followed. I mean, just like last week. So last week we had Randy Orton coming out to challenge Mahal for the well, no, who was it? Oh, it was Shelton Benjamin, rather. I'm getting Raw confused with last week. Randy Orton came out to answer the Shelton Benjamin's challenge for competition. But Jeff Hardy came in, and, you know, Orton just stood there like a goof and just like, you know, looked at Jeff Hardy taking his spot in the match. Mr. RKO out of nowhere didn't have a response to that. You know, any other day of the week, he'd run in and give a RKO to him. But last week, well, I guess he wasn't in the mood. So now they had to take the awkwardness one step forward. Jeff Hardy walks out, is doing his whole shtick in the aisleway. Then his music, like, stops, but he, like, stopped too soon. Showing that I mean, Jeff is a pro. I'm not taking anything. You guys know how much I've put over Jeff Hardy over the years. And I clamored for him to come to WWE. But, okay. So, that aside, whatever. Jeff Hardy fan. But he comes out, he stops way too soon when the music stops. And then he looks behind him, and Orton's music plays, and Orton just comes out, and Jeff stands to the side and does basically nothing. That looked so fucking bad. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, he's doing his whole little shtick in the ring with the arms and stuff. He looks behind him, and then it just it stops. The music just stops, and that's it. I mean, and it's so damn awkward. I mean, come on. Couldn't they at least come up with something, you know, to transition a little bit better? I mean, or just could Jeff at least wait until the music stopped? That awkward pause there, I mean, it was, you know, usually I'd say it's not that noticeable. It was noticeable. And I'll tell you something. I don't sometimes, until I sometimes watch certain reviews on here, or see people analyze it like Russo and crew, a lot of times I don't even notice stuff. I noticed that. That was pretty fucking evident. I mean, he stopped way too soon. Then we had the match. It looked like Shelton was about to job out again. I was about to say, what a waste of Shelton once again, but one of the Singh brothers comes out with a mask on, to attack Orden, that distracted Orden. And, you know, I don't get it. Jinder's on Raw, whatever the case may be. He still has a problem with Orden, but he should have a problem with Jeff. I mean, I'm not really getting it, unless this is meant to set up for some U.S. title match, maybe at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I guess. Maybe that's their way of trying to segue into that. But Benjamin actually hits the pay dirt, gets the win on Orden. I don't know why it should be that difficult for Shelton Benjamin to get a fucking win. I mean, this guy should be winning all the time, basically. Anyway, backstage, we had the New Day in the bar in a tremendously awkward, stupid segment. I mean, guys, you gotta stop the New Day stuff already. And the thing with the bar, doing, we are the bar every 2 fucking seconds. I mean, there's got to be a lot of major changes here. Do they realize when they're doing something lame? I mean, does this company realize how uncool they are? That every single thing they do is so cringeworthy? I mean, all you got to do is take a look at this. I mean, this is as cringy as it fucking gets. I mean, look at this, guys. Like, there's 3 moments here on this show where I can point out where I'm cringing to the ultimate of cringe. I mean, I couldn't cringe anymore. The Iconics, the promo. My God. And then you've got Jeff Hardy stopping, like, fucking awkwardly. And then you've got, I mean, then you got this backstage. I mean, like, when does it stop? When do they really take a look at their show, call a meeting to everybody, have them sit down and be like, guys, we got to retool. This is not working. This is really bad. This show is so cringy. They're not doing anything the right way. We're making way too many mistakes out there. No one's getting over, but we're never going to hear that. It's business as usual, motherfuckers, right? I mean, this is why we have the problems that we do. Daniel Bryan comes out of the trainer's office. He says he wants a match with Big Cass at Backlash. He's going to be in the greatest Royal Rumble, and he plans on winning. I'm interested in seeing that match. This will be an interesting, you got two guys that are good with promos. Two guys, Cass is getting himself over, getting that heel heat. Bryan is, got his natural energy going. So I'm looking forward to that, I guess. Joe cuts a... I mean, this guy's all over the place. He's on SmackDown. He's on Raw. He's a SmackDown guy. But he's cutting a Raw... he's cutting a SmackDown promo. I mean, this is just... I don't get it. You scheduled a pay-per-view right at the same time that you've got this superstar shakeup going on. So the exclusivity thing just goes out the window. This is so dumb. This is why we should just end this stupid-ass brand extension crap. Because, I mean, here you have a guy appearing on both shows, and, okay, he's on SmackDown. He's not even really technically there. He's in, like, some pre-taped segment backstage, cutting the same damn promo, the same monotone promo, the same promo he's cut since 2002, the same... And Wade Keller, once again, is like, oh, amazing. This guy turns a babyface, and he could just cut this promo to the end of time and he'd be over. Does he realize what he's saying? That he could cut the same promo, he thinks, and it would still be great? I guess this is why Paul Heyman is praised by every single wrestling journalist. You don't have to change a single word. You could just cut the same promo till the end of time until you retire, and you think that, and these people will praise you. Because, I guess he gave these journalists a wink and a nod one time, and they want to kiss your ass any second they could possibly get in their columns. Dr. Murphy and Rusev Day defeated AJ Gallows and Anderson. Okay, wonderful. Dr. Murphy's got a new remix theme. Okay, Keller is saying that Knock Murphy seemed like he was really digging his new theme. I don't know where he got that from. Okay, and at the end, another kind of cringy moment where Carl Anderson, like, dives in front of the Kinshasa, whatever the fuck that move's called. Still can't pronounce it. Probably never will be able to pronounce it. Just saying. I know I'll get a hard time from a lot of the marks out there, right? Oh, you can't even pronounce a simple word. Okay, well, whatever. I've got a New York accent. It's kind of hard for me to sometimes pronounce some of these fucking crazy ass Japanese names. So Carl Anderson dives in front of it like he's taking a fucking bullet, like he's a Secret Service agent for a fucking president. Just fucking diving in front of a kick. Why? I've never seen this before. So instead of like clotheslining him or something, he just like fucking dives in front of the kick. He loves AJ that much. Oh, I love you, AJ. Let me take a kick for you. I mean, like, what was that all about? I mean, you talk. This should be called CRINGEDOWN, for fuck's sakes. I mean, the hell is going on in this show? I'm counting 4 moments here where I'm completely staring at the screen in total awe at how horrible this shit is. Fucking taking kicks for people. I mean, at the Empress of yesterday. Oh God, man, I'm like fucking Migraine City after this damn show. The fuck is this shit? I mean, this is total garbage to the umpteenth degree. I mean, it's bad enough you gotta sit through Raw And that's not even that great. But this is worse. I remember, Bryan was barely on this show. Big Cass cut a good promo. I mean, for me, that is the week right there for wrestling. I mean, the Greatest Royal Rumble will probably cap it off. That will probably be a decent pay-per-view. I will watch it. I will review it. But, Big Cass and Drew McIntyre. These guys cut some good promos this week. So if I have to say what my highlights are for this week, I'm going with Drew. I'm going with Cass this week. You want to ask me what were my favorite things this week? Big Cass, Drew McIntyre. These guys, they basically stole the shows from me. I mean, it's funny, the bigger guys and everything. It's funny. Guys, one of my favorite things I love to do is go onto YouTube, onto the WWE channel, and comment. You could go over to the video where they did the tag match with Dolph and Drew versus Titus Worldwide, and I commented that Drew McIntyre is one of the few guys that looks like a star and carries himself like a star of all the NXT call-ups. I said, of all these tiny jobber NXT calls, however I worded it. I got a lot of thumbs up on that one. You could go take a look at that. And then there was a lot of people whining and complaining underneath there. I don't know if I'm going to respond to them at all. They're like, oh, you're talking about tiny jobbers and everything, and then they start naming people that are bigger, like Baron Corbin, but you're talking about guys that are barely over and that WWE doesn't even give a fuck about in comparison. All I'm saying is that compared to the Seth Rollins and the Finn Balor's of the world, this guy is looking pretty good in Drew McIntyre. The way he cut that promo, I'm expecting a lot from this guy. And I hope, WWE always manages to screw things up, so I'm sitting back here. I'm not jinxing anything. I'm just saying. But, yeah, I mean, Cass came out like a ball of fire tonight. It seemed like, these guys right here, and like I said, the marks do, I don't know why people are getting so offended by me talking about Drew McIntyre being so great and better than everybody else. Because I see that they do like Drew McIntyre. They do. Even What Culture likes Drew McIntyre, for fuck's sakes. So why are these jobbers coming at me? Why are these Jabroni Joneses coming at me? I mean, really. I don't get it. Like, what is your problem? I understand that he's not quite Adam Cole, and you love Adam Cole, and that's probably your savior right now. You love Adam Cole, and maybe Drew McIntyre isn't his greatest, but you still like him. So you're having a problem with me saying that this is my favorite guy out of the bunch? Because it is. I'm being perfectly honest here. I mean, out of all the guys recently that they called up from NXT, the No Way Jose's, the CM Almases, I mean, I think I look at Drew McIntyre and I see the guy as being something. And this guy's more experienced. He's already been there. He's already been in the ring with a lot of these guys. He wrestled Ziggler. He wrestled John Morrison and stuff. This guy has been around the block more than once. So I don't know where all the hate is coming from, but you guys need to calm the fuck down. I'm trying to put over a guy that you liked. He was the NXT champion, right? Isn't that like what you guys always like to tout about all these motherfuckers? So there you go. Trying to put somebody over from NXT and all you're doing is complaining. Okay. Anyway, guys, there's your SmackDown review. This has been your YWC champ. Signing out.